Welcome to another edition of Lakeville City Council Wrap-Up. During this program, we will highlight the agenda items presented to the Lakeville City Council at their November 3rd, 2014 meeting. First highlighted item on the agenda is item number 4A, Public Works Department Monthly Report. And to give the background information on this agenda item is Public Works Director Chris Petrie.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. My pleasure to be here as always, presenting the October 2014 monthly report for the Public Works Department. And we'll start with some project updates. This might be one of the last opportunities I'll have to do that this year, or have to do it this year. We'll see when the snow arrives. But the slides in front of you are of our 2014 street reconstruction project. Now, in all phases of this project, the base layer of asphalt has been placed, and we only have two remaining areas that are waiting for wear course paving, or the final layer of asphalt. You can see in some of the other photos, boulevard restoration taking place that's continuing and nearing completion in all phases of the project. You can also see in the upper right photo some sidewalks being poured. That's along Garcia Way. That was one of the last pieces that needed to be completed along Garcia Way before the boulevards could be restored and pavement could be placed. We're very fortunate that we've been dealt very good weather this fall, and crews have made the best of it, and will continue on until we can no longer continue to work out there in the contractor. But we're happy with the progress, and we expect to be substantially complete with the project in the next couple of weeks. Other project updates, 190th Street reconstruction. You can see that on the left hand of your slides there. Water main and storm sewer construction has been completed, and now you see we're progressing on the street construction. You can see, especially on the photo on the left-hand side, the placement of sand and some of the aggregate base material as we prepare the road surface to have curb and gutter, and then ultimately pavement. And then the photos on the right-hand side of the screen are of the 5060 roundabout project that's going on. The private utility companies continue their utility relocation work. You can see in the top photo there, that's the pond excavation that's occurring on the north side of County Road 60, just west of County Road 50. There's a large regional stormwater basin that's being constructed there. Work on retaining walls also continues along segments of 50. And just as a note to everyone here and watching, the county does provide a weekly update on this project, and anyone interested in getting that information can sign up for a listserv or simply visit our city's website, where you'll find a link to this project. The city and our Public Works and Parks departments held our second annual snowplow rodeo. And you can see the spelling on rodeo there. We put a little catchy twist on it. Took place at our central maintenance facility on October 16th. The focus on the rodeo, of course, is on training our snowplow operators. And one of the things that we've done the last couple of years is to set up a specific course that tests the driver's abilities to guide these large trucks through different scenarios, different obstacles. Throughout the course, proper procedure and movement are emphasized, and it's not timed for them to go through it. However, we do add points or delete points when from an individual score as they go around. If they miss a marker, hit a cone, we have mailboxes that you back against, all sorts of different scenarios that we put our staff in. Also, this is an opportunity to provide our staff some very specific training on some of the specialized pieces of equipment that we have, such as our mini excavator, which is pictured there, our sidewalk maintenance equipment, our toolcat, and a couple of our front-end loaders. So this is an opportunity to train all staff and prepare them for the winter. So it's a concentrated training day on safe vehicle operations, reviewing all snowplow routes, equipment operation, and practicing their practical skills designed to improve our operators' preparedness for the winter season. Now, if not swept, leaves will fill the gutter line right now in the fall of the year and become part of the snow melt in the spring that can clog, of course, our storm sewer system and catch basins, resulting in localized flooding. Also, environmentally, leaves can decay and produce additional phosphorus that will be detrimental to our lakes, streams, and ponds. So fall leaf sweeping, which you see in the photos above, removes all the leaves and hopefully reduces that contaminant source. The city takes all these leaves, we compost the leaves, and we use them at a later date for small projects around the city. Also, our crews are involved in less major maintenance projects, as I've highlighted here, and this is just a simple one I wanted to show of improving some drainage at a particular intersection prior to the winter season coming. This is an area that would typically hold water around the radius of an intersection here, and you can see our crews grading off that area and getting a positive drainage to the culvert that you see in the photo right there. And lastly, I hate to even mention it, but winter no parking is in effect. Went into effect on November 1st, and it's in effect through April 1st. And just a reminder to everyone, there is no parking on any city streets from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. During this period of time. And with that, I'd stand for any questions.
Next highlighted item on the agenda is item number 7, Summerlin Northwest Preliminary Plat. And to provide the background information regarding this agenda item is City Planner Darrell Morey.
The preliminary plat of Summerlin North, by our count, is 84 single-family lots, 4 outlots, and it's on 37.5 acres of land. And the project is located, as shown on the exhibit on the screen, east of Dodd Boulevard, or County Road 9, and south of 190th Street. The proposed plat is for RS4 single-family size lots. The property is zoned RM1 district, and the RS4 size single-family lots are allowed in that district. This is the preliminary plat of Summerlin Northwest, and just a couple of things that I'd like to point out as design features with this project. The Summerlin Northwest is basically the third preliminary plat by Lennar in this general area, which lies between Dodd and Holyoke and south of 190th Street down to 194th Street. The Summerlin preliminary plat is being developed, as mentioned by Mr. Tabone. Currently, Summerlin North lies just to the east of this preliminary plat and has preliminary plat approval, but not yet final plat of any phases. And then this is the Summerlin Northwest. A couple of features: outlots B and C are located on the east side of the plat and include stormwater ponding, but also the extension of the Greenway Corridor Trail system that comes up from the Donley Farm development to the south and will extend north across 190th Street into the Chokecherry Hill development. So this is will include a segment of that Greenway Corridor Trail, which is part of our park and trail system plan. Outlot D, which I have highlighted here in the orange, is an additional 15 feet of right-of-way that is being made available by Lennar for Dodd Boulevard. The Dodd Boulevard ultimate design calls for a 150-foot right-of-way width, total right-of-way width. On the west side of Dodd, the subdivisions that platted many years ago, the street section right-of-way requirement at that time was only 120 feet, so there's only 60 feet of west half right-of-way for Dodd in this area. So to be able to provide the full 150-foot right-of-way width, the additional 15 feet that you don't have currently on the west side would be provided as part of this development on the east side. Now, Dodd Boulevard improvements between 185th Street and 194th Street are currently in the city and county's draft CIP for improvement in 2016. As you heard from Mr. Petrie a few minutes ago, 190th Street is currently under construction and will be completed, hopefully, if the weather holds, this fall yet. However, the 190th Street intersection with Dodd will remain closed between Iden Avenue and Dodd Boulevard until the Dodd Boulevard improvements are complete. The access for this area, Chokecherry Hill, Summerlin, would be directed to the east towards Holyoke Avenue. This is the phasing plan that Mr. Tabone placed on the screen a few minutes ago. I put a little bit of splash of color on that. As you can see from this phasing plan, phase 1 would be the southerly portion, which is directly adjacent to what will be the 3rd and 4th phases of the Summerlin plat. So streets, utilities, house construction would move from south to north, with the north end being phases 2 and 3. Given the timing of the development, the timing of 190th Street, the timing of Dodd Boulevard improvements, these houses in this area of Summerlin Northwest will probably not be completed in any substantive number until after the Dodd improvements are made. I also wanted to show this exhibit. This shows all of Lennar's Summerlin phases within the area that I mentioned previously. The larger area being the first Summerlin development, which again is currently over in this area and still has phases to go to before it touches the south end of Summerlin Northwest. And then here's the Summerlin North that I mentioned previously that has preliminary plat approval. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on the preliminary plat at their October 23rd meeting and unanimously recommended approval. There was public comment from 2 residents, mainly related to the Dodd Boulevard improvements. The Parks, Recreation, and Natural Resources Committee also recommends approval of the preliminary plat. Staff is recommending approval, subject to the 9 stipulations which were recommended by the Planning Commission, and adding an additional 1-year extension to the preliminary plat as requested by Lennar, which would extend the preliminary plat to November 3rd, 2016 to align with their project phasing. I can stand for questions.
Item number 7 was approved by the Lakeville City Council. Next highlighted item on the agenda is item number 8, ordinance amending Title III, Chapter 1 of the Lakeville City Code. And once again, to provide the background information on this agenda item is City Planner Daryl Morey.
I don't have any colorful exhibits for this agenda item, but I do have a little bit of history I'd like to provide before getting into the specifics. Just as a kind of a refresher, this past April, both Carboni's Bar and Grill and Babe's Sports Bar requested extended hours of operation for their outdoor patios. The City Council had discussed the requests at 2 work sessions on April 28th and May 12th, and the Council directed staff to schedule an amendment to the City Code to extend the outdoor patio hours at the June 2nd City Council meeting, and to notify the residents within 150 feet of both of the outdoor patios that this City Council meeting was to occur and that this amendment was to be considered. At the June 2nd meeting, there were neighbors who spoke, 4 from Babes and 3 from Carboni's, all in opposition to the proposed amendment. City Council tabled action at that meeting. Separate meetings were held with the neighbors later in the month of June to discuss their concerns. The mayor, city staff, and the business owners attended each respective meeting. The concerns generally raised by the Carboni's neighbors differed from the concerns raised by the neighbors of Babes. This is due in large part, staff believes, to the unique nature of downtown Lakeville with smaller lot sizes and reduced building and parking lot setbacks. In addition, in the case of Babes, there's single-family homes in close proximity on 3 sides. Given the unique history and development pattern in downtown Lakeville and the reduced lot size and setback requirements, staff is recommending that the city code amendment be extended to, allow the extended outdoor patio hours in the C1, C2, and C3 districts only. Now, in the case of Carbonis and Babes, Carbonis is in a development that's actually zoned PUD, planned unit development, but is subject to the C3 district standards. Babes is located in the CBD, or the Commercial Central Business District, and staff is recommending that in that district and the OR, which is the Office Residential Transition District, that the patio hours stay the same as they currently are. So what that means with the amendment that's in front of you is that in the C1, C2, and C3 districts, the outdoor patio hours of operation would be 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 7 a.m. to midnight Friday and Saturday. And the hours for the CCBD and OR district would stay the same as they are today, which is 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. The City Council reviewed this revised amendment at your October 10th work session, and you directed staff to send letters out again, informing the residents of the meeting tonight and consideration of the revised City Code amendment. Staff did send those letters to all residents within 150 feet of both Carbonis and Babes, as well as the residents that showed up and spoke at the June 2nd City Council meeting and who attended the June neighborhood meetings. So in summary, staff is recommending approval of the ordinance amending Title III, Chapter 1 of the City Code as presented, and I can stand for questions.
Item number 8 was approved by the Lakeville City Council, except for bars and restaurants residing in downtown Lakeville. Next highlighted item on the agenda is item number 9, resolution authorizing employee health and dental insurance rates for 2015. And to provide the information regarding this agenda item is Human Resource Director Cindy Justin.
Good evening. Before you is a recommendation for the rates for 2015 health and dental insurance. As a start of this process, we did go out for bids for 15 and looked for guarantees on 16. These are all of the vendors that we worked with. We looked at both fully insured and self-funded. The best rates that were proposed came from Health Partners. We currently, as you know, are on Medica, so it will be a change for everyone. Health Partners came in with a 7.4% increase for 2015 and are offering us a rate cap not to exceed 9% in 2016, and they will provide us with 3 plan designs. Those designs include a copay, which you'll find shortly is going to be a very high-cost plan, or the 2 deductible plans that we'll offer. These are the outlines of the deductible plans. It's a $2,500 per person or $5,000 per family. There is an additional 20% copay after that deductible has been met, and a total out-of-pocket annual max of $3,500 per person or $6,000 per family. There is a difference between the HRA and the HSA plan in that under the HSA plan, employees will be responsible for paying 100% of their prescription copays. The rates as proposed are indicated here. You see why the copay plan is going to be a plan that will not be chosen by most of the employees. It becomes a very high cost plan, and that is based on the premiums that we were quoted. The HSA plan is the one that we believe is the base plan, and that is now the lowest cost plan for 15. These are the employer dollars moving forward, and these are the dollars that are applied regardless of whichever plan you choose. In addition to what we have proposed for the health insurance, we are being offered dollars towards a wellness program. Health Partners will work with us to help us champion a program to help provide us with the materials that we need to help work with the employees to continue to make healthy choices, which will ultimately impact our premiums for the future. In addition, they are still going to continue as our dental provider because they now will hold both. They have offered a 2% increase as opposed to the 4% increase that they originally quoted for 2015. and a rate cap of not to exceed 4% in 2016. The City Council continues to fund the employee-only cost of dental insurance, and dependent coverage must be paid 100% by the employees. The dental plan is basically a prepaid plan with up to $1,500 available towards the various coverages. And they continue under Health Partners to offer what we call Little Partners Dental, which provides 100% of coverage for children 12 and under and helps them maintain a healthier teeth.
Item number 9 was approved by the Lakeville City Council. Well, those were the highlighted items presented to the council at their November 3rd, 2014 meeting. If you have any questions or comments regarding these agenda items, please feel free to call City Hall. The number is 952-985-4400. Thanks for watching this edition of Lakeville City Council Wrap-Up. Frozen ice in cube form does not possess a dangerous threat when in a glass. But put that same frozen ice on a street or as a coating of snow on a highway, and it does possess a real danger. In Minnesota in 2012, there was an average of 189 crashes per day. Don't let snow and ice-coated roads give you the slip. Slow down when driving this winter.